Good day, grade threes. This is Teacher Ziad again, back with another video to teach you some vocabulary today. So remember that this unit that we started with is all about the different cultures in the world, and we remember we had a project about cultures that we had to do. So today's vocabulary lesson is going to be based on the story that we're going to be doing in week 10, which is called Jalapeno Bagels, or as the native Spanish or Latino people will say, jalapeno. So jalapeno bagels or jalapeno bagels, whichever you prefer. Um, these stories that we are doing is teaching us so much about different cultures, and we're going to jump right in with the lesson that I prepared for you today. It's all about the high frequency words in jalapeno bagels, and it will help you understand everything while you are reading the story. And also we will have completed the reading in Sunday and Monday's lesson. So I'm going to hop right in, and then I'm going to share my screen with you real quickly. um, as you can see over here, it's the high frequency words for grade 3 American Diploma. I'm just going to make this a bit bigger so you can see it. So our high frequency words that we are going to tackle this week, there are 7 of them. So the 7 words that we are going to tackle is as follows. It starts with bakery, then we have batch, mixture, ingredients, dough, braided, and boils. So these are all of the high frequency words that you'll find throughout your story, and which is also highlighted, which we will highlight in our lesson, or we will have highlighted that. And these high frequency words can also be found on page 352 of your Readers and Writers Notebook. So how this is going to play out is I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm also going to take you through the definition of each of these words, so the meanings, what they mean, and having the pictures there will make it a bit easier for us to understand what these words mean. Therefore, when you start reading, or if you have completed the reading, the sentences and paragraphs and the story will make sense to you, because you now know the meanings of these words. It will just improve your reading skills and also your vocabulary and spelling. So the very first word we're going to hop into is the word bakery. So the very first word is bakery. Over here you can see I've got a little picture as well. So a bakery, which most of you might already know, is a place where breads, cakes, biscuits, and all sweet treats are baked or made, and it's sold there as well. And how we're going to do this is I'm going to make examples as I go along as well. So with bakery, have you gone to the bakery to pick up mom's birthday cake yet? So that's a bakery. And on page 352 in your Readers and Writers Notebook, which I will show you, you will find that you have to slot in these words in the correct sentences or context depending on the meaning of the word, which this will help you with. So this little presentation will help you make that activity so much more easier. So bakery, a place where bread and cakes are made and sold. On the next slide, we have the word batch. So batch refers to a number or a quantity, so a number of goods made at a specific time. So if, for example, you're thinking about a bakery, the baker might make a batch of chocolate chip cookies. You know the store called Monkey Cookies? Monkey Cookies makes batches and batches of cookies and baked things every single day. So a batch refers to an amount of cookies or amount of bread baked for that specific time. On the left hand side, I've got a little picture of some bread rolls. So that's a batch of bread rolls made at a specific time. So a batch refers to a number. And if I were to use that in a sentence, Monkey Cookies makes several batches of their favorite cookies every single day to sell to their customers. And I know some of us love Monkey Cookies. On to our next word, which is mixture. So mixture has several different meanings, but to make it very simple for you, mixture is basically just a combination of different things put together to make an end product. So when you're thinking of a bakery, when you're thinking of cookies or biscuits or cakes, a mixture is, I'm going to put milk, eggs, flour, that forms a mixture so that I can bake a cake. On the left hand side, I've got a picture of a baker in his little chef's or baker's hat, and he's busy mixing something together. So he's thrown flour in there, he's thrown eggs, water, milk, whatever his ingredient list tells him to put into the mixture. So that is mixture. And how I can use that in a sentence: the mixture should look like fine crumbs, meaning everything you put together should make fine little crumbs once it has been completed. And when you're making chocolate chip cookies, for example, we are going to make a mixture of dough, chocolate chips, and some milk to make our chocolate chip cookies. So mixture, a combination or many different things put together to make your cookies or to make anything you are busy baking. A mixture can also refer to substances when you're dealing with science. So, but I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of that, but all you need to know is a mixture is a combination of different things put together. The next one, I used the word ingredients when I mentioned mixture before. So the word ingredients means food or substances combined to make a specific dish. So I'm going to use the chocolate chip cookie example again. So we have ingredients for chocolate chip cookies. So we're going to use flour and milk and eggs, perhaps some baking soda and some chocolate chips, and some butter perhaps as well. So those are the ingredients to make our chocolate chip cookies. So you need to remember that ingredients is different foods or different substances that are combined to make a specific product or a specific dish. And I can use that word ingredients in a sentence as well. You need only a few ingredients to make one batch of chocolate chip cookies. And on the left hand side, again, I put a little picture for you showing very different things. And that is basically what ingredients are. On to our next word, which is dough. I know a lot of you know what Play-Doh is. It's a little gooey substance or a little soft thing that you can squeeze between your hands. So in baking or in general, dough is a thick mixture made of water and flour. And with Play-Doh, it's something different. A thick mixture made of water and flour used when baking. So I mentioned the word mixture in this definition, and you just learnt about the word mixture on the previous slide. So it's many different things. In this case, it is water and flour when we speak about baking. So it is a mixture of different things that we use when we bake. So dough, something gooey, something soft that you can squeeze, something that you can mold into a different thing. You know, with your Play-Doh, you are able to make many different shapes, many different men. I know someone had Play-Doh in the classroom one day and they were making little figurines out of them. So dough is a mix, basically a mixture of certain ingredients that forms a little soft, gooey, satisfying little thing that you can squeeze or shape. Play-Doh or dough that you use in a bakery. So on to our next word, which is braided. Braided is a type of weaving or pattern. You might have learnt about a pattern or weaving in art class. So on the left hand side, I've got a little picture which shows braiding of pastry or dough to make a braided bread loaf. So it's basically a pattern. You can see that crossing they are crossing the different pieces of dough together to form the pattern. So braided is basically just a crisscross pattern where you're moving one thing over the other. Like if you have sisters as well, you'll know that sometimes girls want their hair braided. So it's also moving pieces of hair across each other to make a little pattern. So that is braided. And how I can use that in a sentence is, my mother made braided bread, or my mother bought braided bread from the bakery. And bakery is also one word that you've already learned. So we are building our vocabulary as we go along. The next word is boils. You might know the word boil from science as well. So my definition is a bit on the science side. So when it says, when a substance reached a specific temperature and steam is created as a result. So put a pot of water on a pot on the stove, sorry, and it boils. So we know that water has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius, and it will boil and then steam comes out. And we know different substances has different boiling points. So in baking or in cooking, we usually use something like boiling. We need to boil the potatoes in order to make some potato salad, or we need to boil the pasta or the rice. So boiling is it's a method in cooking that is used, and it's basically when the water or the specific substance you are boiling reaches a temperature. So those are our high frequency words, and how I can use the word boils in a sentence. When I want to make a cup of coffee, I boil the kettle. I boil the water in the kettle. So that is how I use the word boils in a sentence. What I would love you to do with these high frequency words is try and make some sentences of your own now that you know all of the definitions for our 7 high frequency words. I'm just going to go back to the very first slide for you that contains all of our high frequency words. So it says bakery, batch, mixture, ingredients, dough, braided, and boils. See if you can try and make specific sentences or certain types of sentences using these words. Now, your sentences can be statements, questions, or exclamations, and you should remember those 3 types of sentences from the previous lessons that we've done. So I look forward to hearing about your sentences or seeing your sentences. I will see you next time. So I'm just going to end this little session over here. So you can't see that screen again. I'm just going to show you the Readers and Writers Notebook page, which is the one about your vocabulary. I'm going to bring that up for you. We're going to do that, or it has been done with your reading lesson. So I'm just going to share that with you quickly. This is the page that contains all of your high frequency words, bakery, batch, mixture, etc. And these are the questions that you basically have to answer, which we will do together or have done together, depending on when you watch this video. But I will see you next time, boys and girls. I'm sorry, just boys. I'll see you next time. We will then catch you with another lesson tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in.